Her Grace Manharini Mataji is enlightening us by giving the nectar of why devotion life is important in detail. So thank you so much, Mataji, for accepting Parsarthi Foundation invitation from your valuable time. Let us welcome Mataji by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and will request her to resume today's session thereafter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Hare.
Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Mataji, once again. Over to you, Mataji. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Parsarthi Foundation, for extending this invitation. So I would just introduce myself briefly. My name is Manharini Devidasi. I am a disciple of His Grace Kritudas Maharaj, who is a Prabhupada disciple. And I can see some of you, we already have either met at ISKCON of Houston or any other temple. So thank you so much for coming today. We'll start with the Mangalacharan, right? Om Agyante Mirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuze Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. And as we, put it on the topic, we are going to discuss about why devotional life is important. So many of us, come to temple, we are chanting, and we are resorting to Krishna consciousness. Are we understanding why we are doing this? So to discuss this topic, I'm really grateful to Parsarthi Foundation for allowing me to discuss this. The most important thing as a human, the most precious thing as a human that we have got is this human life. Many of us, when we talk about devotional life, even material life, first we have to understand who we are, right? So whenever you talk to somebody, what we do is that we talk to them and we ask them, who are you? Then they will associate themselves with a particular country. I'm Indian, I am American, I'm Chinese. Or they may associate with body, I'm a woman, I'm a man, or they can associate with their education. So the very fundamental thing that Prabhupada has always asked, which he called the $1 million question, and my Guru Maharaj always has started his sessions with this, is, do you know who you are? That's the $1 million question. So if you don't know who you are, then how would you start your spiritual journey? That's Atato Brahma Jigyasa. That's the beginning of spiritual life. So the very first thing to understand is, who am I? And when we start asking this question, we will get the answer that I'm not this body. This body will be destroyed, right? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, this body is going to succumb to disease, old age, and we're going to die. What are the 4 fundamental faults in the material world? Janm, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, right? Birth, death, old age, and disease. So we have to understand our actual Swarup is we are soul. We are not this body. What you are saying, if I'm born in a Christian family, I'll be called Maria. If I'm born in a Hindu family, I'll be called, Manu. If I'm in another caste or creed or anything, my name will be different. So this body is more like a cloth. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Vansansi Jirnani, Yatha Vihai, right? So when the clothes get old, we got a new body. So first thing that we have to understand is, who am I? So what is my actual identification? I am a soul. I'm part of Super Soul Krishna. So when you're part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the purpose is to, when you are part of something, what happens? You have to stay connected to them and serve them. How can we stay connected to Krishna? Is we can stay connected to Krishna by two means. One, we can prepare prasad, offer it, and take the prasadam. Second, we can use the same tongue to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. These are the two ways, very simple and sublime, where you can keep yourself connected to Krishna. Right? So once we know, once we stay attached and serve, we are going to get the bliss, the spiritual bliss from that. Normally what happens with the small baby, say, who is born in a very affluent family? What happens with them is they take birth, they go through their youth, childhood, youth, they accumulate karmas, either good karmas, sukarma, bad karmas, vikarma. But when we resort to Krishna consciousness, when we understand that our relation as a soul is with Krishna, then that's when we start our devotional life. So we will touch base on the different angas or different, the 8 steps in bhakti that we can take to get closer to Krishna. But the reason, this Janm Mrityu Jara cycle, the 84 million species, you will keep on wandering here time and again if we do not put an end to this. And how we can put an end to it is when we resort to Krishna. Rishikena, Rishikeshana, Sevanam Bhakti Muchyate. What is spiritual life? What is devotional life? Devotional life or spiritual life is when you know your actual self, when you know that you are a soul, and you, with all your senses, Rishikena means with all your senses, right? So we have different material senses. When we use all our senses to serve Rishikesha, the Lord of the senses, that is called bhakti. That is called devotional life. And why we have to get ourselves into devotional life is because, what you will be doing is you will accumulate karma, right? Sukarma or vikarma. You will either get to the higher planet or you are going to go to the lower planets. So either you're going to Narak or you're going to Swarg. But then again, once you go to the higher planets, you're going to enjoy them for 100 years, 1,000 years, million years. You're going to fall back to earth. You're going to fall back to this particular land. Why? Because Shine Punya Mrityu Lok Pratante. When you are, good karmas, they're exhausted, they're consumed, you're going to fall back to material world. And again, the birth and the death cycle continues until 84 million species. So isn't it wise that if you get a chance to get out of this, suppose you have a dark room with 84 million doors and your eyes are, blindfolded, but you keep on going to each door. And just for once, after so many chances, you get the door open and you get a little back scratch. So now you miss that door. So this particular human life is very, very rare. Prahlad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam, and everybody knows the shloka, right? Kaumare achret pragna, dharman bhagavatahi. You have to start spiritual life. You have to start devotional life. You have to plant the seed in Kaumarya, means at the age of 5. Why? Because, the tender age, whatever you teach them, they're going to embrace it. So once you teach them, this is the most, auspicious thing you can do. Normally what happens, okay, Mataji, leave him, he's very young. Mataji, rehne do, she's very young. We let our kids get, exempted from devotional service. But that is the age that Prahlad Maharaj is saying that you should actually engage your children in devotional life, because this is the most rare body of all. People can go to Brahmlok, you can go to Dyulok, you can go to Shivlok, you can go to different lokas. But the most important and pious thing is to get birth in human life. Even the demigods actually are waiting to be born as humans, because only in this life you can serve Krishna. That is the most important, thing. So once you know who you are, once you know what is your suru, once you know how to serve Krishna, you should not, kind of control yourself or fall back on material senses, material pleasures, because this is what we have been doing birth after birth after birth. Our job in this life is to get out of this cycle of life and death and serve Krishna. What will we get when we serve Krishna? We'll get Krishna Prem, which is the topmost goal of human life. That is the topmost goal. Not that you can build empire, not that you can build a lot of wealth, or not that you can have a lot of progeny, kids and all that. But the most important thing that you can do is that you can actually serve Krishna with all your senses. What happens when we start chanting? We have a very important grantha called Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, and we will talk a little bit about it. But the most important thing when you do bhakti, there are three things. You start engaging in Krishna's service. These are called Surup Lakshan. When you start relishing Krishna's service, first you will start serving Krishna. Second thing, you will be actively engaging. It's not that Krishna is sitting there, we just put the prasadam and say, apne aap kha lena, take it yourself. No, we actively engage. Would you like to have some sweet? Would you like to have something spicy today? How about some fry? So we serve Krishna with active engagement, and then we are serving him with positive intent. Kansa was thinking about Krishna 24/7, but that was not positive intent. So why we have to get into spiritual life or devotional life, or what is devotional life, is basically serving Krishna with all our senses. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, again, this is a famous shlok, and those of you who are coming to the temple might have heard it so many times. Brahmand Brahmite Konu Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. In every life form, whether you are a bird or an animal, or you are Jalchar or Napchar, you are born in water, or you are in the sky, we get parents, we get a set of parents, a mother and a father. But after roaming in this entire cosmic manifestation for so many millions of life, Brahmand Brahmite, Konu Bhagyavan, one who has a very good, pious deeds, that person gets what? Guru or Krishna Prasade. So either he gets the mercy of Guru or Vaishnava, or Krishna Prasade, or Krishna himself blesses them, and they get that seed of devotional life. So this is very important, that we do not take devotional life, oh, it's just one thing I have to do. No, that is the entire essence of your being here. Who wants to go through millions of life? Who wants to be killed as animal, like ants or other animals? Nobody, right? So these are the things that we have to understand, that our devotional life is very, very important. It is our mercy. In Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna says to Arjuna? That people who are either pious, right? So if you even don't get to the point where you want to be in devotional life, you maybe 10 years, 15 years, you pursued your devotional life and you have a downfall, or this body ends, what will happen? Shuchina Srimatam Gehe Yoga Vrashto Abhijayate. So even if your spiritual life, your devotional life is not progressed well or culminated, you will again get a chance by being born in the family of rich, or in the family of the learned scholars like Brahmanas. So devotional life is all about surrendering ourselves to Krishna. Prabhupada used to tell a story, and it goes like this, that there was a son of a rich man who got lost in a city, and he was sitting on the streets and begging and trying to live his life with remnants. And one day somebody spotted him. Oh, he's the son of that rich man. How come he's suffering here? So they said, hey, your father has such a big mansion. Come on back. Let's go. We are that lost son of the rich person. Krishna has shut Aishwarya, right? Krishna has all the opulences of the world. And here we are running about, oh, I want to have a job for $5,000. Oh, I want to eat this good food. Oh, I want to have good clothes. We are running after material pleasures, which are very flickering. So Narottam Das Thakur said that just like, just for that much time where a water, stays on the lotus leaf. Kamal Jal. So if you take a lotus leaf, it's pretty like, slippery surface. It has more of an oil-based kind of thing. So if you put one water drop, it would really just trickle away very quickly. So life is very short. You don't know if today is your last day or tomorrow is your last day. Out of 7 days in the week, there is going to be one last day. So Monday will be your last day or Sunday will be your last day. We don't know when will be our last day. So what we should be doing is consider every day to be your last day and try to chant as much as you can. Why you have to chant? Because you are a soul. You're part of super soul. You want to serve, remain attached. If this is the hand and it gets cut from the body, does the hand has any significance? No. Can the hand by itself enjoy something? No. The hand is only valuable as long as it is with this body. Similarly, we are valuable as long as we are connected to Krishna. By ourselves, we don't have any existence. So we can only go forward, we can only move upwards when we are connected to Krishna. So it's very, very important that we stay connected with Krishna and we keep, asking in our prayers that Krishna, please be merciful on me. So all the Shat Goswamis, all the, Acharyas, what do they crave for? What do they beg for? They don't say, okay, give me $1 million. They don't say, give me a job or a son or a daughter or, help me get married. So no, they all say, Krishna, please have mercy on us. Right? Na theliya rang pai. Don't move me away from your lotus feet. Give me shelter of your lotus feet. So that is the thing that we as humans should be actually striving for. Devotional life is very, very important. We don't take it seriously. We think, oh, when we get old, but who guarantees that you will get old? We will do devotional life when we are old. No, you will not be able to, because you don't know if your life is going to end in 30 or 40 or 45. You don't know. So it has to be started in Kaumarya. If it does not start in Kaumarya, whenever you get a chance, you should start from that point onward. And devotional life, the bliss keeps on increasing. For example, in material life, you get a car, right? A luxury car. And the car, once it comes in the home, you're very excited, you're very happy, puja and everything is happening. And after 1 week, when the car gets crashed, how much heartburn you get? Like, oh my God, my new car, somebody scratched it, somebody broken my windshield. Right? So you were happy, now you're sad. In spiritual life, you can only get bliss. You only get spiritual bliss. There is no opposite word for bliss. If anybody has in the dictionary, please let me know as well. So when you are in spiritual world, the bliss keeps on increasing each day by day. But in material life, you're happy, you are sad. You are up, you're down. There is always an antonym for anything you do in material life. You're rich, you'll be poor. You're healthy, you'll be unhealthy. So there is always an opposite going on in the material world, But in spiritual world, it is never like that. The bliss keeps on increasing. Your bliss will always increase. Why? Because you're connected to Krishna. Right? So this is why devotional life is so important, and it has said in all the scriptures that Jiva jago, Gora Chander bole. The soul, they are talking to the soul directly, that wake up. You have been fooling yourself for so long, and you have been going around in millions of births, right? 400,000 creatures in the water, 900,000 creatures. So, there is in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is clear demarcation of how many live in water and how many live in air and how many are on the land. So it is very, very important that when you are, got an opportunity to get connected to Vaishnavas, you got the mercy of Krishna, you got understanding that I am this soul, I'm not this body, then you should try to get out of it as soon as possible. Like if you're handcuffed in a room, right? Somebody ties your feet and somebody ties your hand and you're put in a room. Will you struggle or will you strive to get out of it? Yes, because that's not your true nature. You're not supposed to be, tied up and put in a room. So that's why it is very, very important that when we are, stuck in this material world, that we should strive to get out of it. What are the benefits when we say, in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, there are a few things that I noted down. The very first thing you're progressing correctly in the spiritual life, in the devotional life, is you will actually get relief from material miseries. Diseases are going to come, old age is going to come, but you will not be bewildered by them. That is called Kleshagni. So the first thing is, and I'm going to actually read it about how we can progress in devotional life. What is devotional life? Our relationship, understanding our relationship with Krishna, serving him with all our senses, right? So that is devotional life. We are devoting ourselves, our body, our mind, our soul, our senses to Krishna. So that is devotional life. Hope that is clear. What happens? How does devotional life progress? So the very first thing you will realize that you are on the right path is Ado Shraddha. The first thing you will be witnessing is you have faith in the words of the Vaishnavas, of the gurus, of the lineage, of the, parampara. So Ado Shraddha, that's the beginning of your devotional life, that you will start developing faith. Tato sadhusam. So once you develop faith, the next step is you will start getting association of the saintly people, of Vaishnavas, of people who love Krishna, who talk about him. So Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhusam. And once you go past that stage, you start getting association. People, saints are coming to your home, you're going to the temple, you're attending lectures online. Once this cycle starts, the next step that happens is Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhusam. And what happens after that is Tato Bhajan Kriya. You will get so much joy in chanting the name. Some people think, oh, it is just a combination of words. No. It's a very powerful mantra. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not just an ordinary mantra. It's a spiritual sound vibration. It's a prayer saying, Radharani, please engage me in your service. So it is very important that when we understand these steps, and they have been, prescribed, they have been jotted down in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Any of you can find it on the web. You can find Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu in English and Hindi. And you will see that once your bhajan kriya starts, all the material misery will start dissipating. Kleshagni, it's Shubda. Everything that is auspicious will start coming around you by itself. That is the power of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Devotees never even aspire for mukti, liberation. Devotees never aspire for material affluence. They just say, Krishna, whatever you feel, whatever you think is right for me, I am surrendering to you. I am totally dependent on you. It's not that, Krishna, please make sure, I pass this test and I'll give you like $150. Krishna, please get me a car and I will give you a ride in that. No, none of that. So it is very, very important we understand what is devotional life, why it is important, And once we understand devotional life, then we should continue, on the footsteps of the previous acharyas and keep elevating ourselves. First, start with faith. The second step you go with is gonna be, sadhu sangha, and then you start with your bhajan kriya. So these are few things that once you start, doing these activities on a daily basis, you will start relishing it. You will start, remembering that how Krishna is so merciful that he is giving me all this blessings to start my spiritual devotional journey and to keep progressing in that. So these are few things in devotional service that you have to do. Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sang, Tato Bhajan Kriya, Tato Anarth Nivritti. All the inauspicious things are gonna start disappearing from you. It's not gonna be bothering you anymore, because a lot of people, struggle with that okay, I'm doing bhakti, but my bad karmas are coming. When you surrender to Krishna, because he is the supreme personality of Godhead, everything will start dissipating. Just like when the sun rises, all the darkness, the fog, the mist, everything start dissipating. Similarly, when you surrender your life to Krishna, you get so blissful. So for those of you who have been struggling in life, if you have a disease or if you have just mental agony, any of that anarthas, we talk about, there are so many anarthas in human life, right? There are so many kleshas in human life, whether it's Adi Bhautik Klesh, Adi Deva Klesh, or Adhyatmik Klesh. There is a very common saying, if you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through difficulty, keep going and have faith in your heart that Krishna is meeting you on the other side, because he is making sure that he can, work out all your karmas or whatever kleshagnis and pull you through all this so that you can feel the bliss of his association. So devotional life is not something you can get just by your own endeavor, or you can get by, doing some pious. It is by Krishna's or Vaishnava's mercy that you get it. So make sure, if you have been lucky enough to come to this point where you are getting the blessings of Krishna, you're able to hear, you have the ears, you have the power, the consciousness to hear about his holy names, that you every day pray to him. If you're going through a very difficult phase in your life, Gajendra Moksha is the best thing. It's not that Krishna comes only for like Draupadi or Narsi Mehta or Gajendra. Not Krishna comes for each and every devotee who sincerely prays to him. If you pray to him, Krishna, I'm so stuck. I'm feeling awful here. Please help me. Krishna comes for each and every devotee of his. So it is very, very important that we take devotional life seriously. We should first understand what is our transcendental position. We should work and strive towards Krishna. You have to be towards Krishna. You have to pray for his mercy. You have to ask for his mercy. And once you do that, Krishna is gonna bless you with more and more association. There are many times, I have a devotee friend who was struggling in her devotional life, and she was asking everyone, please pray for me, pray for me. And, by the mercy of Krishna, she got a service and then another service. And Krishna, once he holds your hand, he will not let you go ever. No matter how difficult your life is, he's always going to be there for you. So in devotional life, the understanding that I am soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna, and I must remain attached and serve him by my mouth and tongue, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by taking the prasadam. That is the beginning. Faith, having faith in the holy name. Draupadi didn't have anything. Her husbands are not helping her. She's crying out loud in the sabha, and nobody is helping her. But she has faith in Krishna. So she yelled one last time. She asked one last time for him. Keshav, right? And he immediately came to her rescue. Gajendra. Gajendra complained to Krishna that he said, I was praying for you. I was, shouting, and I was, offering my prayers, but you delivered that crocodile first. How come? And Krishna told him a very simple and very profound answer that he gave me. How can I forget that person who is holding the lotus feet of my devotee? I have to deliver them first. So we all have heard these stories, and sometimes we think, oh, is that story? No, in your real life, you will witness his mercy very soon. If you are asking for him from with all your mightiness and power, and you are praying to him, he is going to manifest. And it's not that Krishna will give you like forehand and darshan always. Sometimes it's just one person guiding us. Sometimes it is the Vaishnavas guiding us. Sometimes it's the service. Sometimes it's just, we get like enlightenment, realization. Sometimes it is devotee association that you will get. So Krishna will manifest in different ways in your life. The only condition is that you have to surrender on to him. That's the devotional service, right? So those are the things that you have to be thinking about. Now, this is a very nice slok that I want to quote here. Anya abhilashitam shunyam jnana karmadi anavrita anukulena krishna anushwilanam bhaktir uttama. Anya abhilashitam shunya. You don't have to ask for any material benediction or even spiritual benediction. Anya abhilashita. There is no other desire. Rup Goswami has any desire? No. They were rich of the richest. They were the cream of the cream of the society. Does he have any desire? No. So anya abhilashitam shunya. You have to nullify, zero your other desires. Jnana karmadi, you're covering yourself with, oh, I am learned scholar, I'm this, I'm that, I'm an engineer, I am a doctor. So jnana karma, that quoting of, I am, so and so, and I have done so and so, and I'm so rich, that you have to get out of that. Anavrit means taking it out. And whatever is favorable to Krishna. If Krishna wants hot milk and you're giving cold milk, is that anukulenam? No. So make sure that you follow the scriptures when you're serving him. And the simplest and the most sublime method if you want to start your devotional life is you have to just have faith in the holy name, and you will start with Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting, and that is going to make your life blissful. Every morning we chant from 4 a.m. till 7:30 a.m. And I know Barsani Rana Mataji and Prem Priya Mataji comes there, and maybe many of you as well. But that is the blissful time, isn't it? Like we all are collectively asking Krishna to engage us in his living services. So whatever struggle comes in your life, you have to have that faith in your heart that Krishna is always gonna, bless you. Krishna is always with you. You can never go alone. There can be anything wrong with you. Yes, we will be tested, just like gold. Gold is always put in a, a kiln, and it is heated up. If you have to make a very beautiful art piece, it has to be, going through all those steps of purification. So this is our purification process of our body, of our mind, of our soul. So don't give up if small material inconveniences or diseases come, or, you are feeling tired and drained. Krishna is always taking care of his devotees. Bhava Grahi Janardana. Whatever intent, I was listening to Nitai Sevani Mataji, and they said that Putna did not have good intent. Why did you deliver Putna to Krishna? Somebody is asking. He said Putna did not have a good intent, but the act was good. Krishna said she was giving me her milk, so act was good. So then said Shabri, the intent was good, but the act was not good. She was giving you, eaten berries. So that act was not good, but the intent was good. And Krishna said, oh, in that case, I looked at the intent, not the act. For Putna, I looked at the intent, not the act. So, and he'll keep on repeating so many devotees. So Krishna does not look at your act or intent. He just look at how surrendered you are. There is a famous bhajan, right? Na jaane kaun se gun pe dayanidhi reed jate hain. You never know what makes Krishna, what moves his heart. In devotional life, it is never 1 + 1, 2. It is not that logical. In devotional life, it is whatever Krishna desires. He can make 1 and 1 1,000,000 as well. He can make 1 and 1 0 as well. So whatever is going in your life, if you feel sometime tired or drained or weary, remember that Krishna is testing you. You have to come out very good in this test. This is devotional life. It is not simple. Right? Narsi Mehta has a bhajan that जो प्रेम का मार्ग होता है वो सूरों का होता है, मतलब शूरवीरों का. Right? It is not for everybody. Not everybody can walk on this path. It is only for the brave-hearted, because you will be tested in devotional life, and that's when Krishna will accept you. But once he accepts you, nobody can separate you from that point onwards. He will always take care of you, whichever life form you are, whichever loka you are, wherever you are. So that is very, very important that we take care of our devotional life. We safeguard the reaper of our bhakti, and we make sure that, we are taking care of our devotional life very seriously. There are 2-3 easy steps. Understand who you are. Once you understand who you are, serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And once you start serving him and get the bliss, keep on, engaging in more and more services. That's the ultimate goal of human life. Not to leave $1 million for your children, not to leave a big house or mansion or cars, not to have a huge business or job. It's basically our job in this human life is to get out of these miseries by continuously praying to the lotus feet of Radharani and Krishna. And trust me, when you have it in your heart, I remember that time when I didn't have money, I didn't have a car, and I would always crave for, I want to go to Vrindavan, and Krishna will always arrange it. When I got a little money, I said, I want to serve in the Dham itself. And I will get requests like, you want to serve in the Dham. So whatever is your true desire, Krishna is in your heart. You cannot, he is the biggest deceiver. Yeah, we call him Chaliya. He's the biggest deceiver. So can you deceive him? No. But when you, from all the purity in your heart, like a small child will say, Mom, I want candy. Mom may not give it right away, but maybe, 2 minutes later, maybe an hour later, she'll bring it back and, sorry, I just forgot you asked for candy. So we are like that small child, that we are only depending 100% on Krishna's mercy. And when you're dependent on Krishna's mercy, then there is nothing that can stop you. Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara. So where is victory is where there is Sri Krishna and where there is Arjuna, right? So Bhagavad Gita, very simple. We have been reading Bhagavad Gita, I think on Saturday we read the 18th chapter. And the essence was that Sarva Dharman Parityajit. Don't worry about, which religion you are, what is your, your wife or husband or your mother or whatever you are, worker or doctor, leave everything and surrender onto me. Why? Because when we surrender to him, he takes care of us. That's the power of surrender, So we have to make sure that we understand who Krishna is by reading scriptures. So don't waste this human life. This human life is very rare. Devotional life is very rare. Not everybody gets it. Look around you. How many people are devotee? Maybe 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 1,000. What do other people do? Watch Netflix, stay home, go to cruise, go to some other, places for sensory pleasures, drink, eat. But the devotees are always thinking, how can I give more pleasure to Krishna? What should I make? Like, should I make cookies or should I make gulab jamun? What should I, what kind of dress should I get for him? It's getting cold. Should I get him a sweater? So these are the important things we have to understand. This is devotional life. So Mataji, can we stop here?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, whatever you like means generally our session is a 1 hour, and so whatever you like, Mataji.
Okay. So I will just go over what is in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, right? That they talk about what happens when we opt for devotional life. What are the signs that you're progressing nicely in devotional life? So the first and the foremost thing that is told in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu is Kleshagni, the fire, the burning fire, right? Even in so many Vaishnav bhajans we see, Diye Nisi Hiye Jale, right? Sansar Dava Nal Lead Loka. The whole world is like a burning, blazing wildfire. Why? Because there are so many miseries here. So when the miseries start, it starts getting subsided because you're progressing in devotional life. It's just like the rain comes, the fire recedes. So when the rain of Krishna's mercy will come, all the kleshagni, all the material miseries are going to start going away. So that is very important. And Shubhada, you will see auspiciousness around you. You will see a lot of good things happening. One service opportunity after the another. Can you stitch for Krishna? Can you cook for Krishna? Can you sing a bhajan for Krishna? Can you participate in Rath Yatra? And for, it is sudurlabha. It is very, very rare to actually get bhakti. It is not easy. If anybody thinks, oh, everybody can get bhakti, no, not everybody can get bhakti. It is very, very sudurlabha. Even demigods are praying to Krishna. They are waiting. In Govardhan, there are monkeys. If anybody has gone to Govardhan, you will see there are a lot of monkeys there. They're all the demigods because they have not been allowed to worship Krishna. So they have been told, if you want to come on Govardhan, if you want to be in Braj Kshetra, you have to be a monkey. So don't chastise the monkeys if they snatch your glasses and run away, because they're a little annoyed. They were not given an opportunity to serve Krishna. And so they have to get in monkey body to serve Krishna. So these are little things when you go to a dham that you will see that, there are so many very beautiful bhajans that you can make me anything. You can make me dog, you can make me hog, just make me anything. As long as I am in the Braj Dham, I want to serve you. Right? So there are so many bhajans that have been written over the over dham and what is the importance of dham. How blissful it is for those of you who have been to Jagannath Puri Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham, just relishing. Even now when you close your eyes and you think about that time, it's so relishing. Does it happen with any material birthday or wedding anniversary or cruise experience? No, you forget it as soon as you come out of it. Another thing is, it is moksha laguta. Even the liberation is very small in front of bhakti, in front of devotional life. You will never see a devotee aspiring that I want to get moksha. No. Especially Vaishnavas, they say, Krishna, wherever you would engage me in your service, in this loka or any other loka, the entire cosmic manifestation, wherever you want me, I will serve you. So devotional life is such a relishing thing. Like for those of you who have eaten gulab jamun or any sweet like rasgulla, right? After you had it, even 20, 30 minutes later, you can still relish it in your mouth. You can feel that sweetness. So Krishna's, the devotional service to Krishna is almost million trillion times much sweeter than the nectar, the honey, the gulab jamun. You will relish it. You close your eyes. It has been 20 years that 20 years ago, I went to Mayapur Dham. But if I close my eyes today, I feel like I'm in Mayapur Dham. I still don't know how much it has progressed in last 20 years, but I have not been to Mayapur in last 20 years. Vrindavan, I go every year. If I go to India, every single time I go to India, I am in Vrindavan, Govardhan. We go to Barsana, all those places we can go, but I cannot, even Jagannath Puri we recently visited, but not Mayapur. So whenever you will start relishing those things, whenever you will start feeling that bliss, your life will be so sublime that the material inconveniences, I didn't get a ticket, I didn't get a seat in the bus today, there was no prasadam left over when I reached the temple. None of those is going to bother you, because Krishna is personally taking care of you. He's going to be your personal, uh, you know, concierge. He's going to take care of all those things that you need. So, Bhishma Pitama, in the last few hours of his life, Krishna visited him and he said, I want to give you my unmarried daughter. And everybody was shocked, like, what is he saying? He does not have a daughter. He's Naistik Brahmachari. What is he talking about? And he said, I want to offer my unmarried daughter, which is my buddhi, to you, unto you. We think so logically, oh, this is not good, this is not good. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a transcendental sound vibration, which means that, oh Radharani, oh Krishna, engage me in your loving devotional service. It's not a sound made up of some syllables. It is not. So for those of you who have been thinking that, is this material life much more blissful? Did I do something wrong? You will see that at the end, people who have been relishing material life, they get fed up. That's why those billionaires leave their, fortunes to some charity and then not to their kids or some other people. So devotional life is very, very important, because that's something that you have been yearning for, striving for millions of lifetimes. You have been a bird, you have been a snake, you have been a crocodile, you have been a dinosaur. You have been through the misery of being a bee and crushed. You have been through the misery of being a rat and killed. You have been through all those miseries of being a fish and a turtle and a crocodile and a, shark fish. You don't remember it. So just imagine if you go on a road and you see an animal being killed on the road, whether it's a cat or some run over squirrel, just see how much pain that animal might have been through just for that one death. And you have been through this 84 million times. And then you get the human life form. And even in human life form, there are 400,000 different forms. You could be born in Africa. You could be born in Nicaragua. You could be born in China. You could be born in Malaysia. You would never have a clue about Krishna, right? None of those Islamic countries, you never get, clue about Krishna from there. So make sure that if you have got this human life, that you can take full advantage of it. This devotional life is not a joke. It's a very serious matter. You will get out of the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. And that is the goal of this human life. So thank you so much. I'll stop here. If anybody has a question, we can take some questions right now. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Hi Krishna Mataji, thank you so much Mataji for a very, very nectarian session which you give us Mataji. So Mataji, do you have a time for a quick question answer?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay. So I request to everyone, if you have any question, any realization, or anything which you have to share with us, so please unmute yourself and feel free to ask to Mataji. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manharini Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Yes, means they are not locked. They can unmute by self, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, how are you?
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mataji.
Very wonderful class, Mataji. Like you touch all the important points. And first you started with Athaso Brahma Jigyasa. So, and start with the Bhishma Pitama top example, so you touch all the thing, how we are suffering in this material world with Janma Mrityu Jara Vyati, this is our four disease, for the life. and we don't realize, how many species of life we take a birth and death and came to the material world as a human being, and what we have to do, our goal of life. You explain about the uh, how the devotional service is so important, because this is the only mind can think what I have to do and what I can do. And this is our main goal of life. You explain is our main goal of life is to worship the Supreme Lord and go back to Godhead. This is what important aspect we have to understand. Uh, very good topic you choose today to explain about the devotional service, because we forget, the people's we need to, our mind is so lazy, in this Kali Yuga is progressing. We have so much forgetful nature right now, so people supposed to keep reminding us and hammering us in our head so we can remember, and when we try to be get lazy, again we remember that we everybody have to remind each other, for our spiritual progress, so that way we can do devotional service and bhakti lead to the Supreme Lord, so very important some points you explain, and I'm just stunned to hear all that, like I'm very got pleased to hear a lot of few topics you explain, okay, how the crocodile get delivered first, that's we need to understand, because you say like Krishna said, because he hold my
Devotees' feet.
feet, and so I have to deliver him first. So this is very good to hear that and understand that, okay, how Krishna is thinking about so much in a detail about his bhakta, okay, who it and who worship him and who bow down him, and he watching everything. He is everywhere, so as a Paramatma he hear everything what we are doing, speaking, thinking, so a very very wonderful class, and
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
much
It's
Hari.
all mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Whatever we are learning is from all the senior Vaishnavas like you. I've been
Okay,
seeing you for so long. So thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna. Anybody has any other question, concern, realization?
Anu Mataji, Bhakti Bhava Mataji, Gopal Prabhuji, Ila Mataji, Hemu Mataji, Kanti Mataji, or Usha Mataji. If you have any question, any realization, just unmute yourself and ask to Mataji. Hari Bol. And especially Mataji, I really like so many quotes you mentioned for this topic, like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and many more scriptures. So thank you so much, Mataji, for everything.
You're very welcome, Mataji. I did not prepare. It was a working day, so whatever I could remember. But I know one thing, that because of your class, I'm going to start Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu again. I can tell you a little small. If nobody's asking question.
Yes, Mati, as of hand raise, Mati.
Okay. So what I can tell you is, like, if you are in devotional life and you're in, beginning stage or advanced stage, whichever stage you are, one thing you have to remember, that sometimes we think, or as a material entity, we feel like nobody's supporting us. One thing you have to remember, that Krishna is your best friend and your ever well-wisher. So he will never leave your side. We had a very major accident a few months ago, and I can tell you that there was no way under the sun we will be alive today. And the only thing that saved us, like every person, the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, the police, the fire department, everybody's asking, how did you not, succumb to any injury? Like, it was more like somebody picked the car and put it. When you're protected by Krishna, right? When you're a devotee, just like Prahlad Maharaj, right? Holika is taking him in his lap, and Holika got burned, but Prahlad got saved. Similarly, in your life, difficulties will keep on coming. Miseries are going to keep on coming. You will stay in that bubble where nothing will affect. You can witness everything. You have to witness. because that's how you'll evolve. Your bhakti will become more like mature and ripen because you have to witness it, but it will be more like you're in a protected armor. You don't feel the pain, you don't, get the anguish. You will go through all these things in life, and Krishna will always bestow his mercy on you. And how you're progressing in bhakti, there is a simple barometer. The more service you get, the more company of Vaishnavas you relish, the more katha you want to hear. Like, I really pray that I couldn't sleep at night so that I can read more books. I mean, I'm in Boston right now, and because of the cold weather, I sleep very quickly. But I want to stay awake a little late so I can read more books. So any day could be our last day. If you think like that, put an urgency tab on it. Don't delay. Don't think I'll have 5 years, 10 years. No, nothing is guaranteed. The whole world can collapse in one day. They're saying they're now creating fusion energy in America. We don't know if that fusion energy will cause a nuclear catastrophe. So our time is limited in this world. Whatever you get, constantly hear about Krishna. There is a little chanting machine. I don't know if you can hear or not, but we have a little chanting machine. Prabhupada is chanting 24/7 in that. So at least we can keep hearing the Mahamantra. So don't miss this opportunity. This is the only, goal of human life. So don't miss the bus. Always pray to Krishna. I am in a very difficult situation. If you don't have money and you want to donate, pray to Krishna. If you have money and you want to donate, pray to Krishna. Prayers are very powerful, and Krishna is taking your intent or taking your act, whichever he likes. So make sure with your intent and with your act, you're both ways you're pleasing him, because we have worked so hard to please our relatives, to please our blood, lines, to please everybody, and it doesn't work out. So one last time, try to please Krishna. Don't think about the friends and the family and the people and the world. Just focus on Krishna, and you will see how manifold your bhakti will improve. You will relish it, your bliss will improve, and you will get so much mercy of all the Vaishnavas and the devotees. So with these kind words, thank you so much, Barsana Rani Mataji and Prem Priya Padma Mataji, and giving me opportunity to be here. I think if in future I get an opportunity, I'll be more than happy to serve all of you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, and prayers and good wishes for all of you, that Krishna can, help you. Krishna can guide you and invite you to Vrindavan to get darshan at Vrindavan. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, definitely, Mataji. Thank you so much once again. So, Mataji, if you allow our call here, because there is no more question. More. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Vancha kalparubhescha kripa sindhubhevche patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Baat ki jai, Har Grace Manharini Mataji ki jai, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Bol. Thank you.